Hi, and welcome to Chain Reactions, a weekly live stream from MySyn XYZ, the leading global marketing network, and hosted by yours truly, Blake, and my co-host, Polina. Tune in each week as we jam on the latest happenings in the wild and wonderful world of Web3. We're live on Unlonely.app every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, and release the pod every following week on Tuesdays. Now, let's talk Chain Reactions. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah.
I'm okay. How are you?
Doing all right. I think you had an eventful. I think we could talk about that here, right? Like we can just talk casually. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a kerfuffle this morning. Yeah, Pauline, tell the world what happened. Yeah.
I got hacked on Discord, and I should have known better because I've been in Web3 for years, right? And never have ever happened to me. Nothing like this, and I was like, I'm so fortunate that I'm like super careful with all the links and stuff. And then this morning, this person DM'd me, and he was working with a project that one of my clients works with. So I immediately connected the dots. I was like, oh, cool. Like we kind of work on the same project. And then he asked me just to join the server of this project to set up like an internal call with the team.
Yeah.
And that
I see where it's going.
Fucked me over.
Wait, so the link? What happened though? The link, was it a real Discord link, or is it a phishing link that looks like? Yeah.
It was a real Discord. It had like it was a real Discord, but I think they used the real Discord, and it might have been also compromised because I know that this is a real project because I worked with an agency who was doing the whole website rebranding for this product. I know it's legit. I know these people are legit, but the CAPTCHA bot inside that Discord to verify yourself on the account was not. Because that's the only thing.
That's how they got you.
Yes, I think it was a fake CAPTCHA bot, and I was like, and then I kind of like, I didn't have my guard up, I think, at this point, because I was doing like multitasking and whatnot, and then I dismissed it, and like in 15 minutes after that, I got a message that I posted something. I was like, but thankfully, like I still, had access to my account, so I just removed all, this app connections, changed the password of the email of Discord, everything. So it was quite easy to put down the fire, to delete everything and kick these people off. But I know, like, they were not targeting me; they were targeting Discord. That I'm admin of, like one of the Discords, to post that there is an airdrop or something.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yeah. But thankfully, like no one seemed to fall for it, and people were super supportive. Like the power of community. There you go. Yeah, they immediately started to like emailing and DMing us, being like, guys, like this doesn't seem right. People started to write in the general chat like, do not click links and things like that. So the community was there for us, which is great. We were able to put down the fire very, very fast. Then everyone just but yeah, it's just very unpleasant, like super unpleasant. And I like I don't understand why this is still happening. Like this is the problem,
But you know what it is? It's not that you're the problem, but
I'm the problem.
Part of the but well, no, here's the thing. Like when they talk about cybersecurity and like Web2, which by the way applies to everything, right? Cybersecurity for just internet. What is it? Like 90% of hacks are like, it's not the technology, it's social engineering, which is literally just what happened to you. They tricked you as a human into clicking the wrong link, and then that's it. Like they don't have to hack through the code, they just trick a person into clicking the thing, and it happens all the time. So
but at the same time, I feel like there are so many ways, because Discord is like, the beauty and the kind of the bad part about it is that it's so customizable. Like you can create all
Yeah.
these bots and like all of these ways that you can trick people. And like, you saw this message, you kind of right away thought something is not right
Yeah.
there, but there are people who wouldn't know that. The funny part is when they also posted this link, they kind of like, the style of the, like the tone of voice was completely off, like,
Yeah. They're
so
so
that's,
lazy. This is such low effort hacking, honestly.
yeah. I
0
mean, when this
stars. Yeah.
when they start to tailor your tone of voice and like the graphics and stuff, that would be like,
I
it's a good thing
mean,
that they're lazy for us right now. And that's
yeah.
another sign for, community managers and social media managers in Web3 to not overuse ChatGPT and like use it for
Yeah.
ideas, but tailor it to the brand voice.
Hmm.
Because otherwise, like, all of this like generic messaging is very easily
Replicable.
scammed. And yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. I have a, but like it's a rite of passage. Like you've been now, like, and the good thing is nobody lost anything. It sounds like nobody was actually tricked.
Yeah.
Um, I've only, just while we're on this topic, I'll share my own little rug story. I've also been hacked, but only once, and hopefully for both of us, it'll only be one time ever. Um, for me, it was last December, and it did have some consequences. So basically, what happened was I just finished work, and it was like 6 p.m. And I was logging off, and I was like, "Oof, my brain is fried. Let me hop on crypto Twitter real quick and like see what the internet is up to." And I'm gonna give him a shout out. Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Now I remember now. So I was scrolling crypto Twitter, and this is the thing about, and this also ties into marketing and advertising, right? Like this is why ads work, right? It's like repeat exposure to anything enough times, and you're just gonna get conditioned to like think it's normal. And I
Mhm.
guess I had seen these like crypto Twitter ads, which were obviously scams, and I just kind of looked past them. By the way, like Twitter needs to do a much better job of like making ads obvious, which we all know, because the issue is like you don't know it's an ad. I kept getting repeat exposure to this, like it was a scam tactic where basically it was um like this person put in this much on this meme coin like whiff or doge or bonk, and they paper handed it, so but here's how much they could have made. And then the whole thing, it's like a promo for like, go to this website and connect your wallet to see like how much you would have made or lost off these like meme coins, which I know like it sounds kind of obviously like a scam, but I'll be honest, like there are some crazy crypto Twitter's weird. There's a lot of weird stuff out there. I use things like BonkBot, or like, well, BonkBot's actually Telegram, but there's one called Pooper Scooper. I don't know if you know about that on Bonk. It's pretty amazing. It's a Bonk like application where you basically connect your wallet, and it'll take all of your like lame meme coins, like all the ones that get airdropped into your wallet, like all the dust, and then it will trade all that into Bonk for you. So it like scoops
Oh,
up all the shit coins and then pays you in Bonk, or it trades it for you, which I
that's
use it
cool.
all the time. So anyways, that's an example of like, in theory, like it I know it sounds a little crazy if when I say it out loud and you haven't had the context, but it I don't know. You see stuff like that on Twitter all the time. So, anyways, I clicked on the website. I go in. I'm in my post work kind of like haze, and I need some quick dopamine hits, I guess. So I go on the site. I connect my wallet, and yeah, I didn't notice anything, but then I hit sign transaction, and then I noticed that they were trying to take out a bunch of my ETH. It was like minus something ETH, and I was like, wait, hold on, this is a lot of money. And then the alarm bells went off, and I realized like, oh my god, like I need to, like, this is a disaster. And then I looked at my wallet, and I was like, oh wait, like what's happening? And I realized my USDC had been drained, but thankfully I caught it in time. Realized my ETH was at risk, so I immediately just disconnected everything. Um, Looked up. I was freaking out because I thought they'd take everything in my wallet, including like my NFTs, my little Pudgy, and others. But thankfully, I was able to just go on the site, or I googled it, and it was like you can just disconnect your wallet from all the previous sites. So just got through that. And it's kind of crazy. I actually haven't even. I still use that wallet because I realized I went on Etherscan and I kind of did a bit of sleuthing, and I realized it's just a standard like draining bot. They don't control my private keys or anything. So yeah, we got to the other side.
So it was an ad that got you, or was it like multiple accounts just posting the same message all over the place, or was it an actual ad?
No, it was an ad. It was a Twitter ad. Yeah.
How did this get approved? I don't get it. Like there are so many ads that are quality and like solid projects that don't get approved, and then shit like this.
Yeah. Elon's got some work to do.
Did you then like check at all what this, Twitter account is up to, if it got banned or anything? Did you report?
No, because honestly, like when you're in that moment, you're just so caught up on just trying to like protect your assets. I was like,
Yeah,
should I move
honestly,
everything?
same.
Yeah.
Even with Discord, like when this stuff happens and like there is no sort of panic button of I feel like I'm being, hacked. What do I do now? Like, what are the next steps? No warning or any sort of things of like unusual behavior from the app itself, or no like guidelines of, okay, you have to change your email, you have to like disconnect the apps, finish the
Yep.
sessions, like change the password, enable 2FA if you haven't, but I did, but still like these sort of like preliminary steps that can be done to avoid it, they're not there right now. So
Yeah. Maybe we should just jump straight into it. It's been pretty slow
I
this
think
week.
this is the only
Yeah,
hot
on the
news
news.
this week, and it what came
Yeah.
up yesterday. I think it was
Yeah,
all
Solana
over.
Blinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very slow.
Well, we're excited. It's going to be good. I think I'm really excited to chat about this. This is really big in this little news week. Solana Blinks. How do we explain it? I guess. I
I
think.
was
Can you give the TLDR?
I was
I don't
thinking
know.
you would show up with like Solana t-shirt or like Solana hat somewhere. It's like
Well, listen.
fully
I always have my
transparent.
Solana water bottle.
Uh,
So right here on the call,
yeah.
always got it.
I mean, the TLDR is they learned from the Purple app, right? And they
Yeah.
implemented like direct transactions within X, so you can mint directly, like without leaving um, X with it was a Phantom wallet, right?
Yeah. 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 Right now it's with Phantom, and I think it's on Twitter, but they're eventually going to be able to roll it out across. You can embed it into any website, which is really exciting. This idea that you can now access Solana applications from pretty much anywhere on the internet with just like a JavaScript integration. It's basically frames, but not just crypto native, right? You can put it anywhere. You can create pop-up sites, and there's a whole, I guess, what they call action stack. So I'm really excited. I think people are built. It's brand new, but we're gonna find out over the next couple months. How legit this is, and are people going to be building this? Or what kind of interesting, crazy stuff can people unlock when suddenly you can interact with crypto applications from anywhere on the internet on any website? So I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah.
Their main goal right now is attract developers to
Yeah.
build all sorts of use cases on using Blinks, and just have fun, like the same way that it happened on Farcaster, where people were making frames where you could order pizza and like
Yeah.
just fun
Wait, should we
use
watch this video real
cases.
quick? So I guess you can interact
Yeah, let's do it.
directly. I mean, this is, yeah, you have a tweet, you can click the button, you hit the thing, it pops up in a wallet, I guess, and you can do it right from your Twitter feed. That's pretty wild. So you could buy tokens. I haven't tried it yet though, which is going to be interesting. I'm curious to see like how the wallet connect part works. Because by the way, we just kicked off this podcast talking about scams. I mean, oh my god, like this is gonna be a whole new scam meta.
Oh no.
You're like, oh shit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm too like I'm usually super careful, and like I would rather, like, obviously today was not the best day for me. But yeah, this is dangerous. If you go to Solana X profile, they posted actually a very nice video that supported the
Oh,
launch that covered a few use cases, despite like this one featured in the
hop
video.
inside.
I thought it was super nice because yeah, it wasn't just for the show. It was actually
What,
like
this one right
showed you
here?
the
The
how it can
Solana
be
Blinks
implemented.
video?
I think so, yeah.
I can't
Or
turn on the audio because I have my headphones in, but
oh no, this is
is it
no, no,
not?
no. This is
Well, this is a nice video though. You got a different one?
yeah. I'm gonna share. Yeah, I shared with you in our reactions
Ah,
chat.
yes. All right, 2 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. Wait, which one? In DMs? Yeah, here. All right, let me see here. Let's go.
2.6 million
What do you
views
say?
also.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
insane. 2.6
All of crypto.
views. That's a lot. I mean, it is very
Yeah, damn.
exciting. And so you kind of post links, and then instead of this little like meta in the meta image, you have the actions directly.
I'm very curious to see where else this
The name
can
is
come up.
interesting. Blink,
Yeah, I like it though.
like a blockchain link.
Wait, I
Blink.
didn't put the two and two together. Is that makes so much more sense now that I think about it.
I just thought of it because I was like, why blink? It could be that it's
Yeah.
super fast, right? Or like a
Well, I think
blockchain
that's the beauty of
link.
any good name, right? Like it has many meanings. It's got like a deeper meaning. So yeah, blockchain link. Blink is fast. It sounds good. It's easy to just like say and spell. You get it. I'm really bullish.
Yeah,
Anyone who's known me over the past year knows I'm very bullish on Solana and ETH. They can coexist, but this is the type of stuff we need. So I'm pretty excited. It's like, because let's be honest, right? Like frames is great, but it's like, if you really think about what frames are, like frames on the Purple app, they were just like, I guess, like the mini games in Facebook newsfeed that we used to have like 10 years ago, right? And this is the next version of that, but now it's on Twitter, which is where most of crypto lives. Because as much as we love Warpcast, like I only have so much time, right? And like fragmenting my attention across Warpcast, Twitter, Discord, Telegram, Reddit, everything else, like it's
it is a
so
lot.
hard. And then not to
It is a
forget
lot.
like Orb, right? On Lens and all these others, like yeah.
Yeah. When Farcaster just started to like get popular, I was like, okay, now is the window to get
Mm-hmm.
on there and like establish yourself and like push the content. I was like, it should be easy enough because I post a lot. I used to post a lot on X, now a bit less, but I
Yeah.
will do better, I promise. So I was like, oh, just repost and stuff. But if you want to do it right, you have to be there, like talk to people,
Yeah.
spend time on there. And I just I you know I couldn't do it. And it's a shame because I like a lot of the
Yeah.
the vibes are really good on the app. Like I like what Rainbow was
Yeah.
doing on Farcaster. Was super fun, and I think uh you know led to a lot of like growth in their user base. But I just don't know where it will be long
Yeah.
term.
Hold on, sorry. I'm getting some messages about this hack from this morning. So but yeah, we're good. I think people are just like the ripple effects are
Are
coming in. We're good. Nothing bad. I think people are just like figuring it out, and I gotta let them know like it's been managed. We're good.
yeah, yeah. I hope.
Yeah, I mean we'll keep an eye on it. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like the announcement was pretty big, 2.6 million impressions, and it kind of set off like the ripple effect as well because they timed it well with a lot of the core ecosystem projects that started to tweet about it and share how their apps can be used like with this new functionality. So Solana's feed was just the fun part is that leading up to this big launch, like from what I could tell, it was just the tweet one day before that said Blink, and that's it. And then they incentivized projects to quote retweet with Blink as well, like on Solana. So it was kind of like created this curiosity gap for people being like, okay, something's going on. And then it was the announcement video, and after that all the projects started to share like how their app can be used or how they're planning to use Blinks with their apps dapps, resulting in 2.6 million impressions for Solana, and like solid like probably the brightest announcement this week. Haven't really seen anything other.
Wait, I wanna dive deeper into Blinks and the action stack, because I'm now finally kind of diving a bit deeper into like what it actually is. And I think the big unlock here that maybe like at least to me wasn't immediately clear is like obviously like being able to click on things in Twitter is important. But I think it should be really stressed. Like this is a big deal because you can now integrate frames into anything, like any link you can put into a website. I'm just reading it right here through like JavaScript. The crypto Twitter thing is obvious, like, and we see it here, and they already have like, it's already all set up for you. But the cool thing is like beyond that, we can create pop-up sites and all types of stuff. And then by the way, like you can use a TipLink wallet, which by the way, TipLink, awesome team. Like send anyone crypto with just a link. They don't need a wallet. They just sign with email, right? Like that's what crypto should be. Like that's going to be the really exciting thing here is how are like people talk about, it's so funny. I feel like in the ETH community, we talk about consumer crypto all the time. And like, how do we get people to use this and simplify and create better UX and better experience? It's ironic that I think like Solana does this maybe better than anyone else, but I feel like a lot of consumer crypto folks are generally more EVM aligned. Let's put it that way. But I think this is something that people should really look into is like, how can you create these better experiences using tools like this? So maybe I'm going to have to take, show Blinks and Action Stack out to all the consumer crypto friends. Talk how meta would it be if you post a frame on Warpcast promoting Blinks in some way.
It would be. I mean, I'm not sure. I didn't look into Solana's presence on Warpcast. I wonder how they announced it there.
I don't know if they did. Oh, by the way, some alpha for anyone listening. And actually, Pauline, I don't even think you know this because I literally did this in the hour before we hopped on here. Myosin now has a Warpcast account. So big shout out to Garrett, who like paid the $5 to get it set up. We'll buy you drinks next Tuesday here in New York when I see you. But yeah, so now we finally have a Warpcast. It actually wasn't as bad because I think a big reason we hadn't set it up was just like bandwidth, but also like I heard that setting up alternative accounts was a real pain, but it's better now. So yeah, we're going to be on the Purple app more, so stay tuned. But anyways, the Solana channel is pretty active, I think. It's there.
If you post a Blink on Warpcast, it would
I don't know
work.
We might have to test that. But because there is Solana wallet. I have my Solana wallet connected to my Warpcast account, my personal one. So it is possible. I'm very curious. I don't know. This is hot off the presses. So we have to see like how Blinks is going to interact with Warpcast. What if here's something crazy? Let's get weird with it. Like, let's be clear. Like Farcaster is the protocol. Warpcast is the app that everyone uses. Can you build a Farcaster app? You build an app on top of Farcaster, but instead of using frames, you use Blinks. That could be, I don't know.
Another app.
Well, that's the dilemma, isn't it? Like everyone wants like less infrastructure, more apps, but then when we have more apps, we get overwhelmed because we're like, yet another app.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if it's a like a
Yeah,
social app where you have to be present and spend time to achieve
yeah.
like results, then it starts to be a bit overwhelming.
I
Um,
think that's the key though, is we
but
need I think the big issue is like everyone is like a Twitter clone of some sort. It's more like what are the unique experiences?
mhm,
Like there are other apps that shouldn't be just Twitter clones, right? Like when we think about like friend pets on base, that's been blowing up. It's like a Tamagotchi style game. How do we build more games that are like very
mm,
simple to interact with? How do we build more, I don't know, whatever the other thing is. Like I guess there's Drip House on Solana, which is like creative, so it's like kind of like Patreon but on the blockchain. How do we build more stuff like that, right?
mhm. Well, it's funny. Like, I think it's a
Yeah.
good segue. Actually, there was a Pudgy Penguin
Yes.
announcement. I think
Yeah.
later this, like, late
Yeah.
last week, right?
Yeah.
Igloo Inc. And there is some sort of like mystery redacted product. So they basically built like they're creating a funnel where they would help the masses on board to Web3 without like, it being
Yeah.
super visible, I guess, which it was very big announcement, but not clear to me like what does that
Well,
actually
it's going to be
mean.
very interesting because, yeah, just to summarize, so Pudgy Penguins, obviously, everyone knows the NFT project. They've been selling tens of millions of dollars worth of plushies across Walmarts across the US. A big thing was their Overpass IP platform, which allows people. I need to do it actually. I haven't done it yet, but like you can license out your Pudgy for different like products and whatnot. But the big thing, I think, what you're alluding to, Polina, is this redacted thing, right? Like, and everyone's kind of speculating, what the hell does
Yes.
redacted mean? Um,
Yeah. So the funnel is looking like Pudgy Penguins
yeah,
above, which can be any of their product. Then it's the redacted layer that's underneath. Then it's
yeah,
Overpass IP, and then the future Igloo Inc.
yeah,
products and brands. Um, the plushes could be one of these future brands, or it could be a completely different thing,
yeah,
right? Um, I saw they're creating different toys that are super
yeah.
fun. Actually, I just sent you in DM. Like this is a toy that I would have because it's so funny to me the way that it is. It's not
Hmm.
just a plushie that's collecting dust. It's something that I don't know. It's a squishy.
Oh, I saw this. I really
uh,
want this. It's the classic toy.
this
Yeah.
is so
Do we just
fun.
smash it and it just smushes everywhere? Wait, there we go. That's so slow. Boom. Oh my god.
When I saw this video, I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
That's so cute.
Then I'm not sure how do you return it into
I
its
think it just comes.
form.
I think it
If you
slowly
just squish
like
it and there's that.
takes its form again. In my experience playing with these types of toys, yeah, because I do it all the time.
It's so
Yeah.
simple but so
By the way,
fun.
you like this is my C Club hat, but I think I'm not a big flat brim kind of guy, so I'm just like adjusting.
It's
Yeah,
so cool hat.
I'm just gonna do it this way. Anyways. Wait, can we speculate on what we think the the redacted is? Like,
Let's do it. What
I
can
don't
it
know,
be?
but thankfully it'll be on record, so when it comes out, we can say we were either right or wrong. Um, I mean, when I look at this, Pudgy Penguins Overpass IP, it's kind of like it's the value chain, right? So it's like there's the IP. I mean, they've already alluded to like building out this digital world for a while. Like, so my assumption is it's some kind of game. It's some kind of social network. It's some kind of like digital layer, virtual world of some sort that is going to be because that's like infinitely scalable, right? Like, and you can literally see the way they talk about products and brands. Like, it's at the very bottom. So I think like physical product is kind of like at the very
Mm-hmm.
bottom of the value chain. Like, it's all around like what is the brand, what is the IP, how do you scale that in a digital way across geographies and communities, allow people to build. Because by the way, if you want to license your IP, your Pudgy needs to like have some kind of like presence, right? So like if you have a social media network that, or some like influencer thing, or oh, here's an idea. Maybe it's like a media, something Pudgy's has done really well. It's kind of like UGC, right? So like they enable anyone to like, you can just use your own. They have a lot of like custom meme generators. I as a little, yeah, gifs. The gifs are amazing, and then like even the stickers. Like I actually have one right now. Shout out to Zook. I met her at Safari.
You have all the merch: Solana, Seed Club, Pudgys, all in one stream.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's
this
so
is, but it's
funny.
funny. Like Pudgies will
I
meet each
love
other,
that.
and you give like,
So cute.
you're giving each other almost like business cards. You're like, here's my sticker. You want a sticker? Like, it's actually given me FOMO, where I'm like,
That's
damn, I need
cool.
to like make my own little Pudgy like stickers.
You know, if they had like NFC chips on them, that would be like a
I
real
like that.
business
I
card,
like that.
right?
I'm in the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Because then, no, I'm just thinking also like for if you're, you know, B2B kind of thing, and then you make fun stickers that would, you know, for example, Mycen would do anything like for
Yeah.
marketers or founders, and then you would give away stickers, but these stickers, they would be yellow and have the minimal Mycen branding, but they would still have an NFC chip attached, so that, you know, there's like some fun experience with claiming. And shout out to
Yeah.
IYK for the chips.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
yeah. Do you want to? I think you had a thing about IYK. You want to talk about IYK?
Yes. Well, actually, there are a few things.
Yeah.
Like, I think. Have you heard about Chipped Social?
Oh, Chipped? Yeah, like the nail brand. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of, you know, like for the stickers. These are the nails. Like it's super cool for the IYK. Yeah, I think it's a different topic. So we'll dive like just to finish with the budgets. I think a game, like you mentioned, a game would make a lot of sense with what they're trying to do with Twitch right now, because they're targeting this like community. And also, like, one thing that we mentioned in the previous podcast is this new TikTok channel where they discover Twitch streamers. I saw Luca posted a TikTok profile of one of the streamers that they featured. The guy has over like multiple million, you know, views videos. Completely. It was like one video, right? So this guy could be like forever their ambassador, and he already has like a million views. Like
now he's got to buy himself a Pudgy
ongoing.
Penguin. That's what he's got to do.
I mean, maybe it was their plan all along, you know? So like,
I mean, that would be the ultimate marketing coup. If by the end of it, they're like, he just like, they just need to like airdrop him a Pudgy, or get him. They need to get a Pudgy into this man's hands, and then it's like official, sealed and delivered. You know.
Yeah, I think Luca is taking, you know, some pages out of his playbook, working in Web2 and this jewelry. He had jewelry brand or something, right? With affiliates.
He mastered influencer marketing, basically. Yeah, that was like a big part of his early career. If you watch any of his podcasts or listen to him talk, my understanding it was kind of like more, not knockoff jewelry, but it was definitely like lower tier, more like fashion jewelry, I guess. Yeah. But it worked, you know.
So you get a long way with KOLs, influencers.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. It's one of our most commonly requested services as well. Yeah.
Actually, like, I think that's something that I'm like, I recently saw one of the tweets, and I wish I remembered who tweeted it, but it basically said something along the lines of the Web3 like partnerships sphere just runs off like a bunch of 20-year-olds in Telegram chats, like, you know, texting these KOLs and stuff who control the narrative on X, which is funny because it's kind of
There's
true.
a mafia of 20-year-olds, some just fucking shit posting all day, controlling millions of dollars in volume. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's I was thinking, because I'm also following a lot of like Web2 marketing
Yep.
news and all of that. So there are a lot of platforms. Like UGC is
Yep.
big in like Web2 marketing, CPG marketing. So I was thinking, is there a platform like this in Web3 where, even if you're not a big creator or like a marketing expert
Yep.
with 100K followers and all just giveaways on the timeline, but a creator who does quality content, what is the way that one can, position himself in the space and start earning money promoting
Mm,
the projects that are
yeah.
validated? um, I feel like, it's a touchy topic because a lot of scams would also pay like
Yeah.
smaller creators to spread the word around. So the projects, they have to be some like there's sort of has to be vetting.
Yes.
But I think that, right now it's all very unscalable. It happens like
Yep.
on Telegram chats, it happens in DMs, it happens in Google Sheets. A lot of the times, there's no, at least I'm not familiar with a platform that would help connect founders, creators, and
Yeah.
launch these campaigns. Because the name of the game right now is like you can have amazing product, you can have great content aligned, but if you don't have this push for it, like some sort of push that almost always involves
Yeah.
KOLs at this point, then it's not going to reach the audience, the enough audience big enough for you to make
I very much agree with
an
you.
impact.
And I will say, I'm going to leak some alpha to the world. There are people thinking about this. And and I'll be honest, we've been thinking about this internally at Myosin, but also I have a chat with someone next week who I think is building exactly that. So we'll see. And we're going to figure out either we're going to partner with them, we're going to collab with them, or we might, I don't know, we're going to figure it out. But it's a great point, Paulina, basically. And I think we need that. Someone's got to build it. And to my understanding, I think there are people starting to like circle around this opportunity and see like, can we build? Should we build? How could we
Yeah,
build? Um, yeah,
I think it will also help to stabilize like the, well, I mean, it can go both ways, but right now the pricing for any sort of integrations and like it's very much in the air. Like whatever they say, it you have to pay. So there's no like transparency, and it's bad for the creators also because they can get underpaid for the work that they
yeah,
were supposed to do, but also for the brands because they have no idea like what the market can be like and how to sort of like
yeah,
approximate the price. um, I think the vetting has to be done, from both like the project perspective and the creator perspective as well, because there are a lot of accounts out there with like tens of thousands of followers, and
Well, and then this is the
they can
inherent.
be,
This is the
bought and
really hard
gamified.
part, and this is going to be the big challenge
Yeah.
any platform that tries to tackle this is going to face. Is like you want a platform that is like that centralized in between that verifies and like that's the main value prop that I think like what you're talking about like any platform solves for. But it's also a really hard problem to solve, like you're talking about, right? Like if you are that platform, like you could read the white paper, you could know the team, you could do all these things. It could still be a rug, right? So it's kind of like this reputational risk that
Hmm.
any platform that takes on this challenge is going to have to face. Of like, if I want to, and then it's like this catch 22 of like, I want to scale, so I want more brands to promote through my platform, and I want more KOLs to. I mean, it depends on how you monetize, but I guess the assumption is you want as many brands to like use your influencer network as possible. But then the issue is like you want more brands, but you have to you have to vet more tightly, right? So it's this inherent like conflict I think that exists that I don't know how anyone's going to solve for it, but I'm very curious to see. I think people just have to keep experimenting, and then hopefully someone will find a solution. Maybe it's like you're creating reputation scores for
Yeah.
brands and the KOLs in some form, and then if they rug, they're immediately banned. I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be the really hard challenge to
I'm
solve.
not sure.
It's the $1 million question.
Yeah. I'm not sure because like with all this like UGC platforms, like influencer
Mm-hmm.
platforms in the Web2 world, I mean, it can be a startup that gets
Yeah.
bankrupt really quickly, but you don't get, like, if you promote it as an influencer, you get the product, you kind of review it, you see it's real product, so then you
Yeah.
talk about the product. In this case, it can be very easily fabricated, and like you're just putting your credibility at
Yeah.
risk with every integration, unless you're collaborating with like you know
By the
big and
And by the way,
with big
I
brands.
have an insight. I was hanging out with, I think, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Justin that told me this, but I was at a Safari had a little happy hour like 2 weeks ago, and I was hanging out with a bunch of marketing crypto people, and I'm pretty sure it was Justin. Shout out to him who kind of gave me this insight of like, Safari. It's obviously a leading Web3 community, great friends with the Myosin community, and lots of overlap, honestly. They also have their own analytics tool, right? And so he was giving me some insight on like KOLs and analytics, which is like there's this kind of, again, like what logically we should want is sometimes like conflict with what emotionally people want. AKA, if you're a KOL or an
Mhm.
influencer, from a brand perspective, you want the analytics to be like, hey, I pay this influencer $1,000, 2,000, whatever number you pay that influencer to like promote your wares. You want to see what's the ROI. Can I get analytics to see what's the click through rate, how many purchases? KOLs and influencers don't want that because they don't want the transparency. They just want to get paid their rate. Um, and I don't think it's an
Yeah.
isolated thing. Like the industry is so set up that way that to break through that behavior and that like opacity is like you gotta have some you gotta have a really compelling reason that those people are gonna want to sign on. So again, like it's yet another challenge in this like ladder of like in theory, I think we all have that idea of like we want to build that KOL platform, we want all, to connect. But it's like how do you trust? How do you
Hmm.
verify? How do you create real transparency and accountability? Because there's a lot of like stakeholders and conflicting interests that don't want these things. Um, So I don't know. This is not me trying to poo poo things. Just me pointing out like these are the challenges that exist for anyone trying to tackle this. Whether it's ourselves, whether it's the friends that we'll be chatting with next week, and who knows, maybe we'll bring them on at some point to talk about this. Um, but yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah. I think if it was a simple thing, we would have
Yeah,
already had it for sure. But there are a lot of, yeah, definitely a lot of like pitfalls,
yeah,
potential pitfalls. Um, when it comes to transparency, like of getting paid and like tracking the ROI and stuff, I think it's the same thing with affiliates in non Web3 world, where you only get paid what you
yeah,
earn basically. And at some point, like, the world kind of transition of one fee for just an
yeah,
integration and whatever, and then towards this affiliate like sort of deal where it's up to the creator um, to drive sales
yeah,
and then earn from that. Many don't agree to that, yes. So there's kind of like you
yeah,
can't win them all. So there can be you can just give an option to the brands, right? So if they're looking for a deal where they only pay for the
yeah,
ROI they get, then they get the creators. I feel like I would apply to, well, yeah, it's difficult. I think that a lot of people who have their the trusted audience, who know that they have uh, community connection, if they
yeah,
truly recommend something, that people will go like and get it, right? If within minds we would be talking about some tool that we've been using that's really cool, or within
yeah,
Safari, and recommend it to all the marketers, people will go and try it. But yeah, if you have 50K followers on Twitter that are all bought it, of
yeah.
course, like no one is
It's
gonna
hard,
care.
man. Marketing in this
So
space, it's such a wild west, and we're just figuring out what to do. Honestly, we're all doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hence the little rant like in the notes
Yeah.
about the problems in Web3 marketing, because I just see over and over again where, people talk about the brand, and then the brand to them is like a
Yeah.
logo and like fonts,
We have that
maybe
issue all the
at
time. Yeah.
max, or a name,
Yeah.
but it's not just that, and the one brand that I can and I know that here as well, that I worked with, that actually thought a lot about the brand, and I can vouch for that, is
Yeah.
like IYK. The amount of time that the guys spent like thinking about whether a tweet or reply is worth it, and how does that position our brand
Mm.
in the world, is immense. Like everything is thought through, and I really like that. It was kind of like a fresh, you know, like it was refreshing to see a team actually like care about
Yeah.
this so much. Um, and that's why I'm very bullish
Okay.
about it as well. Quick
What's the
show.
latest with IYK? Actually, I don't
I
know
think
because I know obviously they innovated on like NFC chips and check-ins, but let's be frank, right? Like NFC chips are not proprietary; it's technology. So it's really around like what's the moat they're building
mhm,
around it. Because like Blackbird in New York is using like NFC check-ins chipped. I mean, again, just NFC chip in a nail. We have some partners that are like putting
yeah.
NFC chips in like jerseys, and so it's a fast growing industry. So I'm curious, like how you think IYK is gonna like stand out. Like what's their, as much as you can disclose, I guess. Like what are they trying to do that's gonna be different? Yeah,
I mean, I can't speak to
yeah, yeah,
Chipped or Blackbird, because I don't know how
yeah.
customizable they are. When it comes to IYK, they've built a platform where you can order chips,
Oh,
and then you can configure them however you want. So right
wait,
now,
they let you chip anything?
they have like you can chip whatever you want. Yeah, I mean they chip like collectibles. They chipped books, like the Chris
Yeah,
Dixon
yeah.
books, Read Write Own.
By
They
the way, I
chipped
tried to
that.
do that, didn't
The
work. I
bookmark.
I have the book, and I was like, I was pressing my phone
No,
against it for a while. It wasn't working. But I don't think it's an IYK issue. That's
oh
just like
no.
a chip issue. Anyway, sorry. Back to you.
Uh, they chipped. I think they chipped shoes. Also, I mean, you can chip whatever you want, pretty much. Like there is no limit to that. It also depends on how you want to configure it, right? So you can the the pay, like the access that you get when you tap on the chip, the experience that you get, the page is customizable, so you can
Yeah,
exchange the links or the videos that you embed as you go. So you're creating this unique channel to communicate with your community. Like going beyond Web3, they collaborated with music artists, and uh, when they dropped merch, they could release teasers to their upcoming
yeah,
music videos. They could release invites for virtual or IRL events. The sort of like direct communication with your most trusted users in the community, I think is
yeah.
super super valuable. And it also, how uh, the whole I really like, because the story is very important, and IWK was
Hmm.
born sort of like one of the co-founders, Ryan. He's a very like avid
Yeah,
music. So he would go to a lot of concerts of this one group, and I can't remember what group was it now. And he would go to a lot of
yeah,
concerts and have merch and all of that stuff. And then how on Ticketmaster you sign up and then you're like 100K plus in
yeah.
line or sort of thing, and all these bots and whoever gets the tickets
It's the
before the
worst.
actual people do. So there's the frustration, right? So if you tap this
Oh,
merch, as a you collect it, right, and then you can first send the access to tickets to your most trusted followers, or those who have the special
mm,
merch and things like that. So
I
it's
love
like
that.
this channel. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, maybe Blackbird and Chipped have the same functionality. I can't speak to that. I just know that the
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
have in iWake are really like thinking things through.
By the way, that's
when
such
it
an
comes to
interesting
like
thing
the,
to note is like the concept of like botting, because it's a real problem, right? Ticket sales or any type of selling out mints, right? Like when you're minting NFTs, even, which I mean, I don't know who still does that, but back in the day, right, when we were minting NFTs, like bots swooping everything up in secondaries. Um, Chips help with
yeah.
that. The challenge is sometimes like, you know, and this is worst case, right? Like it's here's the issue. It's like this cat and mouse game or like a whack-a-mole situation. You crush one thing and another problem sprouts up because it's like with physical merch, like yes, everything you're saying is totally awesome and I love that. There is a world in which as soon as that starts to take off, the scammers are just going to buy a shit ton of physical merch so they can like take all those, you know. So really I think the solution to this is actually creating a real um not reputation score, but I think it ties to digital identity here, which is this idea of like that piece of merch that has that chip that you can verify you went to this concert, you bought the thing, you are a fan. If you could tie that into an account, like a loyalty account, tokenized loyalty, by the way, which we're very bullish on, like if you could tie that into a loyalty account and like the more points, data points that prove that you're a real person, that you are that super fan, that is one way we could slow down on the botting at least. And then what you're talking about, I think, starts to become more real because then it's like maybe it's like the more actions you do and the more you participate within the ecosystem, the more likely you're to not be a bot, right? And then like you're saying, a tiered release based on like the most inner circle, they get the first access, right? But you have to like verify and sign with your validated account, right? That would be a interesting solution. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about, this going beyond
Yeah.
Web3. I think that people are gonna hate it. Like this kind of social score. It reminds me of some sort of like a Black
Well,
Mirror episode where, you have to prove yourself to, which I think is fair, like to
yeah.
counter the sort of like scammers and bots and things like that.
Th-
So, I mean, like with everything, you can't please everyone. There will be people who will hate it.
There's a balance though, right? Like I think like
But
in Web2, like non-crypto stuff, like sneakerheads, that's a huge issue, right? Like botting things. Like
yeah,
I think my take is like if you can really show the value of why this is better, like trying to create a more fair system so people who want the item, who are really passionate, you don't say like this is a crypto thing. You don't say this is an NFC chip thing. You're just like, hey, to make sure we, our biggest fans actually get the clothing they want, set up an account with this brand. It's a loyalty program, right? Like I have a Chipotle account, I have a Starbucks account. Like we all have our billion loyalty program accounts. It's a loyalty program like any other. But the
yeah.
cool thing is now, like with NFC chips, with crypto, with all these things, you can start to like connect data points that maybe today is a little bit harder to verify. Um, yeah.
I mean, now are you familiar with
Yeah, yeah,
Proof
of course. Yeah, yeah.
brand?
I'm in New York, baby. I've been
So
with
they
Kith
have this
for
tiered
yeah,
loyalty
yeah,
program.
yeah.
I love them. So they have this
Yes,
tiered loyalty program that they released maybe a couple
I
of
remember that.
months ago. And I was so
Yeah,
excited about it. I
yeah.
wrote a whole thread, which
Did they
I
do anything with
forgot to
that?
post
Yeah,
later. But
yeah.
it's on like as a specific tier
Yeah,
of the loyalty, you get
I
access
remember.
to drops like earlier and stuff like this. So they send me emails and like in-app notifications whenever
Yeah,
there is a new drop, which is really cool. I can't speak to the numbers here really. I just like how it
yeah.
was executed. I think the website looks very sleek.
And the really cool part to note for everyone
So
is like when they dropped this, it was for lifetime purchases. So like it was kind of like retroactive. They went back, scanned everyone's customer history, and was like, if you ever spend money with us, like it's already there.
super
Yeah,
cool. Which is, I'm so glad that
yeah,
they did this because, like, it's not, first of all, it's not cheap.
yeah,
Like, the brand is not cheap. And the people who really like it, like, they buy a lot
yeah,
of their stuff, like, when the drops come in. So I think a lot of the initial community members, like the OGs, they were very, very excited about it. And like I can't speak to the numbers, or like if the incentive is good enough now to like rank up and stuff. It doesn't like make me want to buy more if I don't like things, right? But it's a nice thing, and I know that they kind of like they deliver on it because I get them.
You know the worst part about this though was like I love this, but then I think there was this moment where I was like, wait, but there's no crypto element to this. Why isn't it on chain? Like, I mean, I'm very happy for this, and I think it's brilliantly executed. I agree. I think it's great. But I guess I do ask, like, it would be way cooler if it was on chain. And then I'm like, wow, I'm like a fucking nerd. Like, I'm too deep in this. Anyways.
I thought that it might be, but might be invisible, and then I was looking around. I was like, I don't see it. Like, I don't know.
Here's the challenge with here's the challenge with on-chain loyalty, because like we've written research reports about it. We think about it pretty often, and like on-chain loyalty, like the main value prop to on-chain loyalty is this idea of like brands collaborating, right? But it's kind of this catch-22 of like, if Kith were to put all their stuff on like Avalanche blockchain or Solana or wherever, right? Like, the beauty of it would be any other brands that deploy in block. Now you can suddenly exchange customer data. You can exchange rewards. The issue, it's a cold start problem, I guess. It's like some brand has to like really put their foot down, do really well, and then they need to be basically like, it's a land and expand type strategy, I guess you have to do, because otherwise every brand's gonna be like, well, what's the point? Like, I could just do what Kiss doing, no blockchain needed. But the value of where tokenized loyalty would come in is like being able to exchange that data on a shared permissioned layer, I guess, if you can permission things, right? So yeah, I don't know. We're still so early.
I think the issue can be here also that their brand is like, it's really strong, right? So a lot of brands would want stuff from them, not necessarily them from others, So it's like, why would we share?
Well, it has to be complementary, right?
Where our points are more valuable
and
than
that's
yours.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's a whole thing. So we'll see. I wanted to we're over time, but I do want to like touch very quickly on like the market. I feel like this was a good chat, but I wanted something that kind of like blew my mind, this whole Mount Gox thing, because I think there's a lot of people this week and last who were like, what the hell is happening? Why is the market like suddenly kind of, by the way, when in doubt, zoom out, right? Don't hold your entire portfolio in meme coins. That's probably a good rule of thumb. But undoubtedly the market has turned a little bit, and it's kind of like, why? And listen, I don't own the markets, but to my understanding, like the Mount Gox payout impending, I think was like a big kind of like sell the news moment. But it's crazy because if you actually look at what's going to happen, the Mount Gox people, they're going to get their money back sooner than they expected, but they're not getting the full value. So right now, what would have been $9 billion worth of Bitcoin is only the creditors. They're only going to get paid out $483 per Bitcoin in Bitcoin. So you're getting a lot less than maybe you would have received otherwise. So just a little note. It's interesting. Hopefully, we'll see.
I think, was it also Germany that was unloading their Bitcoin?
Germany was also like sending a bunch of Bitcoin. I think they're dumping it.
There was. It's not. It's a lot of factors happening at the same time. I don't know. Maybe they know something that we don't.
I think they're probably just like, wow, the price is up. We need money. I think everyone needs money, like the government's included. They're like, we're printing our money away. We're spending all our money on wars. We got immigration, climate change. We got a lot of things to pay for and not enough economic productivity to counteract it. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. And crypto is it's very sensitive to them. And rightfully so. So we see the impact right away, and then we start.
And then Yeah.
But no, I think like long term it's good because we're kind of like, I think I read it in the Milk Road. It's like it's a
Yeah.
spring cleaning kind of thing. It's necessary,
Yeah.
but it's unpleasant.
When in
So
doubt, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. That's all I'll say.
yeah.
I look at my portfolio, and it's like, if you look at it's just the time frames. Like if it's like the 1 day, it's like this. If it's 7 day, it's like kind of like this, right? And you do 30. The further out you go, the more you're like, okay, I just need to like chill out. So, and yeah,
I mean,
and buy more.
it's still better than it was like
Oh,
half a
100%.
year ago when we were, or no, like a
Even
year ago.
even after like,
Indeed
last
better.
summer. Oh my god, it was rough. Yeah,
Yeah. So now I'm like,
we're doing fine.
this is fine.
We're doing fine.
We're good.
My hot,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, and it's not only my hot take, but my view on generally the markets is going to be like, we're going to be chopping around this summer. There'll be some unfortunate news. There'll be some bullish news. There'll be like ups and downs. I don't think we're going to really see like any type of big move until the fall again. It'll probably rip near Christmas as it usually does. And then I think next year is going to be insane. So I'm very excited. Just keep stacking cash and buying dollar cost averaging when you can selectively, not financial advice. And I think we're all going to be sitting comfy this time next year. Very excited.
Yeah. Be careful
Yeah.
with your wallet
Don't click
and the
on,
links. Is what
don't
we
hop
learned
into
today.
strange discords and click on weird Twitter ads like both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be good.
Spread
And
your
you'll be
ETH. Don't
good.
put it all in one wallet. It's crazy. Some people, I like stalk some people's ENSs on Zerion. The amount of ETH I see them holding in that wallet, I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, you get hacked once. Like, I'm sure you have more money elsewhere, but that's still a lot of money to hold in one wallet.
It makes
Yeah.
me nervous. It makes me like people's wallet makes
Yeah.
me nervous. I'm like,
Well, especially
you
when
can
they're
do
like
this. But I
publicly,
mean, a lot
especially when
of
there's ENS attached to it. It's like, it's such an easy wallet to target. So like, don't hold that much in
right?
there. Like, it's, anyways.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I have low like risk tolerance in that
Yeah.
regard. I'm like, especially from today, like
You got to go clean up your wallets. Yeah.
I am.
Okay, well, I think that's it for today. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. We're going to start issuing POAPs at some point. I think we should do that. There'll be like Mayo token tied to that. There's some fun stuff. At some point, Paulina, we should play around with the token deployer on Unlonely and see what we could do there. But all in due time. Also, we should start bringing on some guests. I think that was always on the agenda, but next week or two, let's just think about who we want to bring on and just like shoot the shit and have fun with that. Yeah. All right, cool.
That's good.
All right, folks. Well, thank you to everyone listening. Great chatting, Paulina, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. All right.
Yeah.
Ciao, ciao.
See ya.